Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest and greatest episode of the Lowbot Podcast. I'm Tyler.
I'm Josh.
And we are back at the Bachelor Pad.
Yeah,
We are back at the Trap House. We are back at the...
Crackdown, baby.
Crackdown.
No, you're right. It feels right.
It feels right.
to call
This is
it
our
Crackdown.
first time with the Crackdown viewers. Hello, our Crackians.
So- Jesus, all right. Our fellow crackheads.
Yeah, right? That's what we should call our fans. You know how Jake Paul has the Jake Paulers and Logan has the Low Gang? We got the Crackheads.
Yeah, all right. All right.
Or the Blockers.
Crackheads, come on.
Come on, Crackheads.
Jesus Christ. But you were away last week.
I did. I went on a little holiday.
How was the holiday?
Relaxing. Went to Robe, which is like a really small country town.
Yep.
Not much to do. There's like one street of things.
Is it just like a small remote town? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a tourist destination because it's got nice beaches and stuff.
Yep.
We're thinking, okay, we'll go down, chill on the beach, whatnot. It was like 15 degrees, windy and rainy. So
Not ideal.
Not ideal, but it was a nice Airbnb. We just chilled out, relaxed, got some pizza.
Yeah.
Like I've
Away
never
from-
slept in past 9:30 in like a year since that happened.
Jesus.
Since last week. So
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's
good to
much
relax.
needed sometimes.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the time when I went to Japan with Adam, and the second half of that trip was windy and rainy. That wasn't ideal. And we had like shitty 7-Eleven umbrellas.
Yeah,
which
they
were,
don't last too long,
900
unfortunately.
yen. They were real bad. But it's good to have you back.
It is good to be back.
I feel like, in a weird way, you being away has somehow allowed for so much to happen in the NBA world.
Yeah, it feels like the last week we didn't have much to talk about, but the moment I go away for a week,
Oh, yeah, everything happens.
stuff's happened.
Everything. Have you managed to get caught up? That's all.
Little bits and pieces. I'm like, I got to get caught up as much as I can. I've
Yeah.
most likely missed stuff or forgotten stuff from like last week.
Yeah.
The biggest news that I can think about now is LaMarcus Aldridge retiring.
Oh, man, I'm going to miss him.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, LaMarcus Aldridge came out and said, I had an irregular heartbeat. It's not worth risking playing anymore.
Yep.
So he's played his final games.
Yep.
A true vet, been around for like 15 years, almost at the 20K club in points.
Yeah, I think it was 49 points off of 20,000
He would have made that
career
this
points.
season.
Yeah,
He would have made
absolutely.
that this season.
Because he was playing well.
Yeah, he's playing well. So he's hung up his boots.
It's just sad to see because we were really hoping he would end his career in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where he really had his rise to fame in Portland
Yep.
from day one. Moved on to San Antonio. San Antonio was still a very, very reliable scorer
Absolutely.
with San Antonio. One of the mid-range kings.
Yep.
You know,
For the past 10, 15 years.
Yeah, and it's cool to see the mid-range slowly start coming back, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, him and DeMar, strangely enough, on the same team.
Yeah.
Are two of the best mid-range scorers we have in today's game.
Yes. Some of the best ever with DeMar and efficiency with LaMarcus.
Yeah,
so good.
absolutely. And being 6'11", LaMarcus Aldridge having a really efficient mid-range shot, it's just
Yeah,
scary.
having a clean shot.
He could shoot the three. He didn't like to a lot,
Yeah.
but it's not like he's a Dwight Howard. And I know he's hit like 1 or 2 threes this season, but that doesn't count.
It doesn't actually.
Like
shoot
LaMarcus
threes.
can shoot threes, but he doesn't really shoot threes.
Yeah.
But phenomenal, efficient scorer. Was never really a negative on defense.
No.
Was like subpar most of his career. But I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah.
Man. He's one of the old he's like you said, 15 years.
15 years. He came
the
in
league.
2004.
Wild.
1 year after Bron, Melo, and D-Wade.
Yeah, I think we mentioned a player the other day when we were on the pod. And like, there are just certain players in the league which we don't remember how long they've been in the league.
Chris Paul as well.
Chris Paul, yeah, he's an old
Like
head.
2005, 2006.
Yeah.
Same with Dwight.
Yeah, Dwight's another old head that people forget back in his Orlando days. But I think that's probably the best way to start this episode is just reminiscing on LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah.
You know, love him, hate him. Never any scandals as far as I'm aware
never
of.
any scandals. Seemed like a lovely guy. Came out and played great basketball and did it well.
He seemed to be having an immediate impact in Brooklyn.
Absolutely, yeah. Another 10 points per night scoring option, like they need anymore. But like, just an
Obviously, I don't want Brooklyn continuing to have this weird influx of amazing players.
Yeah.
It's weird. But this isn't the way I want to see it end.
no, absolutely
You know,
not.
I would have loved to see LaMarcus Aldridge for another 3-4 years. You know, that's the way I anticipated him, just with his skill set. Another 3
Just sticking
years,
around
probably.
for a couple more years. Yeah.
because he can be a good spot up shooter, and
Yeah.
much like in the same vein of like Paul Millsap in a weird way. Like Paul Millsap is not the Paul Millsap we knew.
No.
But
He's,
he can
he's
still
a completely
contribute.
different player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very very good locker room guy. What is Paul Millsap's like phenomenal coming in the third, right?
Yeah.
After the half time,
just smashes out
absolute
third quarter.
killer third quarter, yeah. And that's what I was hoping for LaMarcus Aldridge. You know, not that specifically, but could always come in when needed. So I'm just going to miss him. I really wasn't anticipating it. No one had any rumors or anything about that. I woke up in the morning and I saw the tweet from Shams, and it was he's announced his retirement.
I woke up and I saw PJ Tucker's Instagram. He was like, "I'm gonna miss you, my man," because they played at Texas together.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'm gonna miss you, my man. You know, league won't be saying that." And I'm like, "Oh shit, did he die?" I scrounge through Reddit and I see him like, in regular heartbeat and he's retiring. Yeah. I'm like, that is the best of the worst outcomes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to
like he didn't. You don't want
those like waking up to Kobe news.
Yeah,
that was heartbreaking.
Like he didn't get injured. He didn't tear his knee out. He didn't gravely wounded. Didn't pass. It was like, okay, here's the thing. I have to retire.
Yeah. Much like Chris Bosh with his blood clots.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that happens.
I'd rather them take care of their health. I'm not going to be selfish in that regard.
Like we say, we're people first and basketball fans second.
Absolutely. It reminds me of the time where probably one of the most wholesome moments in NBA history that I can think of is when Isaiah Austin was drafted by the NBA.
Yeah.
He was obviously a top pick.
Yeah.
But because of his medical issues.
He had a rare blood disease and he couldn't get drafted. So Adam Silver got up on stage and said, we're going to be drafted by the NBA.
And I think he was offered a position with the NBA. I don't know if he took it or not. I think he
probably did.
Yeah. Right. I can't remember if he was wanting to pursue his major, what he was doing in university.
But money-wise, considering how expensive medical bills are in the States, take that job. They'll look
take the job you can get, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like the NBA should pay pretty well.
Yeah.
Depending on the role. But, these things happen.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. But I'm happy we got 15 years of LaMarcus Aldridge.
Absolutely. We should cherish what we've got and say, thank you for your service.
Salute you, LaMarcus. But anyone which is a bit unfamiliar with LaMarcus, because I know his years weren't fantastic in San Antonio towards the tail end.
His best years are behind him.
Look back at him playing in not in San Antonio, Portland.
Yeah, like the Brandon Roy era.
Brandon
Roy and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Oh my God. That was just
with Greg Oden for 6 games.
So fun to watch that. What was that, 2007 or something?
2007, 2008.
Yeah, that was so fun.
That was the year of the 8th seed in the West was a 50-win team.
Yeah, West used to be real brutal.
That's how bad it was. If you made the 8th seed, you had to be, I think it was 2008 because AI was on the Nuggets. You had to be a 50-win team to make the 8.
It was wild.
To make the 8th seed on a 50-win team.
Just fucking crazy. Speaking of wins in the West, still top of the West is the Utah Jazz. Still playing very, very good basketball. At this point, it's safe to say they're not fake. They're real. They play really, really good basketball.
What's the Phil Jackson thing? If you hit 40 wins before 20 losses, you're a contender.
Yep.
And that's Phoenix and Utah.
Yeah, and this is Devin Booker's first 40-win team in his career, and he beat that Phil Jackson rule, which is kind of neat. But the reason I wanted to touch on Utah, they are a phenomenal basketball team. Don has just gone out with an injury last game, which is very unfortunate.
Rough.
It looked like he only rolled his ankle, which is the best case scenario.
Give him a week to rest.
Situation, but
Don't
he had
force
to be
him back.
He was out for the game. He will be away for a bit, but they're comfortable in the first seed.
Yeah.
They can afford to have Don recoup.
Yeah.
And figure himself out. But it's just sad to see, especially after, unfortunately, the Jamal Murray news.
Yeah, that one broke my heart. That was rough.
I had to text you, man. That just sucks.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Jamal went down with a non-contact knee injury, and that's the scariest.
When you watch that in slow-mo, it clearly buckled. And that's the scariest thing to see.
And it's weird, growing up, you think a contact knee injury would be worse, but no, it never is. It's always the non-contact knee injuries where someone blows tears their Achilles or blows a quad or anything like that.
And this ended up being one of the worst case scenarios.
It was an ACL.
Murray, unfortunately.
That's rough.
So at least 9 months is the general
so he'll be out for the
that.
season, he'll be out for the playoffs. That hurts us a lot.
The interesting thing now is... it feels a bit weird brushing off Jamal Murray. He's your second go-to guy on that team. So now we have to think, what can we do to replace him? You'd get Aaron Gordon at a weird time. Because now he's going to have to be thrust into more of an offensive role.
But he's not a great pick-and-roll ball handler.
But now you've got to try and make it work. Michael Porter Jr. is much better than he was last year.
Yeah.
He's taking on more of a load offensively and is going to have to now, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's just Aaron Gordon really you hope that he can start making something work.
Yeah.
He's not a horrible player,
No, he's not.
but you've still got
He's having
amazing
his best
passes.
time so far at Denver.
This is his longest win streak in his career.
Right.
It's 7
Because
wins.
All he's really doing is cutting and catch and shoot. And that's perfect. So ideally, it's all we need to do.
Yeah.
But it's more of a load on Jokic, which...
He's already got such an immense load.
Yeah.
Which sounds so weird to say.
That is what you type into Pornhub.
Yo.
Jokic immense load.
But like, he's clearly the front runner for MVP.
Yeah.
He's clearly frustrated, and him and Mike Malone frustrated with the lack of calls he's getting with the fouls, which I understand. That's frustrating.
It is frustrating, but you shouldn't throw a tantrum like he does.
He is getting hack-shacked. That's really what that is. And I understand why they're not calling it. It's not good for ratings. Ratings are already, struggling at the moment. They've got to deal with all this COVID stuff still.
Yeah.
I understand, but I can't imagine being Jokic
When
alone.
it's blatant, it's a bit hard to look past because he doesn't get the superstar calls. It's rough.
It's rough. It's annoying watching Denver, not for the fact that they're not good. They're very good. It's just watching Jokic just get abused sometimes.
Yeah.
Is really sad to see, and now he's going to have to take on even more, which is nuts.
Yeah.
But it's cool to have Embiid back at the same time.
It is good to have Embiid back. It's good to have the other best big man in the league back and healthy and playing.
Embiid's come back and is Embiid again.
Yep.
Like, no downtime.
No downtime.
And that's really, really cool to see. But I think there was a stat posted recently where Jokic this season has played 65% more minutes than Embiid. So there's no way they're going to compete for MVP at this point.
Steph would be up there with Jokic, but again, he's been out with injuries here, there, and everywhere, but he's been pissing hot recently. You text me saying yesterday, like, Steph isn't real.
Steph's fake. Steph's a fake player. My God, this last week, watching Steph, those aren't real numbers.
No, it is. It is.
Like, there's a video game numbers, and I know that's a cliche thing to say, but that's absolutely what that is.
Yeah, for your point guard.
Like, I think his last 2 games, over 90% true shooting. No one does that
He's playing on rookie difficulty.
Yeah, the league's on rookie difficulty for him right now.
And the thing is, there's no other offensive threats shooting-wise on that team right now.
You watch Steph Curry. I want to take a moment to talk about Steph and his greatness.
Okay.
Steph is, in my opinion, the best off-ball player I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I think so.
He is, and this week there have been some highlights posted, really putting it in slow-mo on what he does off-ball.
Yeah.
He is always double-teamed.
Always double-teamed. Always running.
Always running. And his off-ball skill set is what allows him to drop over 90% true shooting.
Yep.
It's no other player can do that.
We've seen some great off-ball players in the past. Clay is one because he always finds an open shot.
Really good.
Rip Hamilton was one of the best for shooting in the mid-range. Ray Allen was also really good. Reggie Miller. It's all these spot-up shooters. But Steph, my fucking God. Like I've said it in previous episodes and like last year. He runs off-ball and he gets battered. He gets hits with screens. He gets hits with double teams. He gets fucking battered, but he still worms his way out, finds an open shot, or fucking dribbles his way through the entire defense.
It may sound like a hot take, but I'm pretty comfortable saying it. At least, from what I've seen, I've never seen a player, out of all the games I've watched, all the players I've watched, all the teams I've watched, really, really be doubled, tripled off ball. I've never seen a team try so hard to deny someone a ball, yet Steph Curry still manages to make it work.
Yeah.
When Steph Curry scores 20 points a game, people are like, oh, maybe he's regressing. He's not regressing. The teams are throwing everything they have at him. They can't do that with LeBron. LeBron's one of the best facilitators we've ever seen.
It's a different defense.
And that's no knock on LeBron. It's just Steph Curry, obviously, you want the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
And you'll do anything to try and stop that. But Steph Curry's so good, you can't.
I think there was a quote that came out years ago about Kyle Korver. It's like he may average 10 points a game, but you guard him like he averages 30.
Yep.
Because if you give him an open look, he'll drain it.
Yep.
So if you watch, not right now, obviously he's not. I think he's retired.
Yeah.
Maybe on the Bucks. But
I think he's retired. I think he's doing like commentary or talk show stuff.
But if you look at 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, you give him an open look and he's draining it. And you look at how hard the off-ball defender has to stay on top of him. It's the same thing with Steph. He may, let's say for the next month, Steph averages 10 points a game. You still got to guard him like he averages 30.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, he's just going to drain him.
And that's a very, casual versus hardcore fan.
Yeah.
Hardcore fans which watch the game for more than it is will understand that if Steph scores 10 points, It's because the defense is throwing everything they have at Steph.
Everything.
It doesn't mean next game
It's
or the
just
week
traps,
later.
traps.
And it's just so he's the slipperiest off-ball player I've ever seen in my life.
Some of the best live dribbling, and like we talked about it how Kyrie is using his handles to be probably the best shot creator using his handles.
Yeah.
Steph is like he uses his dribbling and his handles to get out of bad situations, get out of traps.
Yep.
And it's fucking wild.
They guard Steph so differently from Kyrie. It's hard to compare the two.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Kyrie's coming at you, he's going to attack you. You know, you're going to want a really good on-ball defender and then someone on help because he's going to blow by you regardless of who you are, unless you're Ntilikina. Shout out to Frank Ntilikina. But
no shout outs, Frank.
But Steph is so different. There's a whole off-ball defense scheme for Steph, and that's just wild to see. He's now averaging over 30 points per game, over 65% true shooting.
He'd probably have the MVP if he didn't get injured.
If he didn't get injured and his team was doing a little bit better, they're now at 500, which is actually surprising because they were a few games below not too long ago.
Yeah.
Steph has single-handedly
dragged them up.
He is like
also the all-time leading scorer for Golden State now. We should mention that, right?
Yeah. Shout out. That's such a huge accomplishment.
It is.
It's always rare when a Wilt record is broken.
It's broken, yeah.
So Wilt Chamberlain is no longer the leading scorer for the Golden State Warriors. It is Steph Curry.
It is Steph.
It's weird that Steph Curry... He's a weird one to talk about because obviously he's an all-time great. Mm-hmm. One of the best point guards we've ever seen, if not the greatest. There's always that debate. The only thing is... Only 7 All-Star appearances so far.
Yeah.
Under 20,000 points so far, which is the wildest thing to me, is LaMarcus Aldridge at 49 points away. I think it was 49, 40 something.
I think it was 49, yeah.
And Steph Curry is further away than that.
Yeah.
And that's just a weird thing. I don't expect that. When you think Steph Curry and his greatness, you think, and all the threes as well, you think, 21,000 points or something.
Yeah.
But no, it's not the case.
No.
And his skill set is definitely... built for the long run.
Yeah.
Being such an immensely good off-ball shooter and
That'll,
player.
Like, when he's getting older, when his injuries catch up, he'll still be an off-ball shooter.
That's why Korver played until he was, 41, 42?
That's why Ray Allen played till he was pretty old.
Like,
Kyle Korver, even the Marcus Aldridge towards the end of the year was hitting more threes, doing more spot up. He wasn't killing in the post. Because if you can catch and shoot, you can have a place in the league.
Absolutely. And... God, just the Steph's run lately is the craziest thing I've seen. It's
like one of those Dame runs. You know how Dame, especially at the start of the season, had like a stupid Damian Lillard run.
Yeah.
Steph's doing the same thing now.
Yep. It's 1-for-1 aligned with his unanimous MVP season.
Yeah.
That's how crazy Steph is right now. It's just disappointing that there's no Klay Thompson. No real backup. Draymond isn't Draymond unless he's got the team with him.
Yeah.
And, Jordan Poole's not going to do much. Wiseman's out.
Wiseman's out as well.
Which is unfortunate.
Wiggins is a good cutter and might be able to hit a spot at 3, but he's not. He's
Better
not
defender, but he's not a Klay Thompson. He's
Wiseman out hurts him a lot.
Yes.
That's rough.
They struggle with their big
Was
men.
it his quad?
I can't remember.
Something, but yeah.
Not the worst injury. It's just him being out is unfortunate.
Yeah, you want to get him as many reps as you can.
Absolutely. But yeah, it always feels like Golden State are always going to go down with their big men.
Yeah.
They don't stay for long due to injuries.
That's rough.
Or whatever, which is, like I said, unfortunate. But Golden State, surprisingly fun team to watch, and it's because of one man. That's Steph Curry.
It's a one-man show right now.
One of the best players in the league, but, only, probably behind Jokic. Jokic is just playing...
He's going to be...
Leading
especially with
success.
Jamal Murray out now. His load's only getting bigger.
Yeah, like I said, big load coming.
Big, immense load. So yeah, Jokic is probably going to be the MVP. The way things are going, it's with with Embiid having injuries and with Steph having injuries and LeBron and having injuries.
AD has been cleared for full contact.
Yeah, I heard that. He's going to get 15 minutes a game.
Yep, Vogel was going to limit his minutes, which is the smart thing to do.
Yeah, don't rush him back.
We not too worried about seeding right now.
Yeah.
As long as we're hopefully in the top half.
Seeding doesn't matter when you've got LeBron.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Playoff run's so different. Even, to an extent last year with AD. AD was ridiculous. I think he hit a couple game winners in the playoffs, which is stupid. It's absolutely insane. But there's been a lot happened. Even the Luka game winner.
Stumbling and fumbling his way to a 3-point floater.
So it was Dallas versus Memphis, and I think it was Grayson Allen with 1.8 seconds left, had 2 free throws.
And he's a 91% free throw shooter this season.
Missed them both.
Yeah.
To seal the game, missed them both, and that's what led to Luka Doncic catching it on the left hand of the arc. And somehow, Memphis played good defense on that.
Yeah.
That was not
And
a
he
good
was
looking
hoping
shot.
for a foul there.
Yep. And just leant forward outside of the 3-point line and just threw it up. Bang.
in.
Like, nuts.
It's Luka magic.
Luka does weird stuff. And he's back to really good percentages again.
Yep.
He's such a weird enigma. Like the
He
start
started
of
off the
this year,
season as the worst 3-point shooter in the league, and now he's like the most efficient 3-point shooter.
So if you look pre-All-Star break, he was shooting about 20-something% from 3. Horrible.
And that was up from 9% at the start of the season.
Horrible. He was basically classed as someone that can shoot the 3 but not a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
And that was true. Now he's at like 40%.
Yep.
Like
On live dribbles, not catch
Yeah.
and shoot. It's all live dribble stuff.
Luke is crazy.
Yeah.
It's disappointing because this Dallas team is not fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. When you watch Steph in Golden State, Steph plays with a bunch of nobodies. I'm going to be honest. The team's not good, but Steph makes that enjoyable. Watching Luka play with Dallas is frustrating because Luka's obviously such an immense talent, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't look like the other guys know what they're doing.
No.
Like even Jordan Poole looks like he knows what he's doing. Bowman looks like he knows what he's doing sometimes. But these other guys, man, it looks so rough. And if I'm a Dallas fan, I'm equally like blessed to have Luka. And I'm also frustrated because Kristaps also hasn't been the Kristaps you wanted.
He hasn't been good.
He's been a third option at best.
Behind like Tim Hardaway Jr. And they got JJ Redick hoping he would fix that. And long term, JJ Redick does.
Yeah.
But he's not like an immediate impact.
No, he's not. But KD's back as well in the East.
Just in time for Harden to go out.
I think it was like 70 points in 70 minutes. So he's efficient. That's
Surprise, surprise. Kevin Durant is an efficient scorer.
But Kyrie's playing very, very well offensively.
It feels like Brooklyn is just a rotating door of who's in, who's out right now.
That's what it feels like, right? It's like, who wants to play this week?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to chill in the Bahamas for a bit, you know? Blake Griffin's got to show up to every shift.
Yeah.
But no, KD can chill for a bit. James Harden can chill for a bit.
LaMarcus is gone.
Yeah, LaMarcus is gone.
It's
But that's
a revolving
that's
door.
good. Yeah.
Right? Who's in this week? Who's out? Come playoff time, it's like, okay, everyone's in. But right now, it's like, okay, who wants to play? Who wants to play basketball?
Well, something I wanted to touch on as well. I know we're going from like all over the place, but it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, it has been 2 weeks. We've got a lot to
And there's just stuff I want to go through. Atlanta are doing very well.
They've picked
They're,
it up.
I think, 4 games above 500. When they fired Lloyd Pierce, I think they were 5 games or something below 500.
Yeah.
They have been a lot better.
They won 9 out of 10 right after firing Lloyd Pierce.
It's obvious that we were wrong on Lloyd Pierce.
Yeah.
It's obvious that he wasn't a great coach.
Or just a great fit.
Yeah. I don't think he's a horrible coach, but I was listening to some like diehard Atlanta fans, and they really didn't like Lloyd Pierce. And I think it's the same situation with Luke Walton, where it just doesn't feel like he knows enough.
Yeah.
And is not putting in enough of the right decisions.
Yeah.
And that can, look at Sacramento now. They've lost like 8 in a row or something. And
Yeah,
De'Aaron
it's
Fox
bad.
is having a phenomenal run the past month. And
He looks like an
frustrated.
all-star.
Yeah. And apparently that's a similar thing with Lloyd Pierce. It just wasn't working. He didn't look like a good fit. But to everyone else that's not a diehard Atlanta fan that doesn't, know your...
I know my in and outs of my team, in and outs of your team.
I know
We know general
little
about
caveats.
Atlanta, but we don't watch every game.
No, and I always felt that Lloyd Pierce was a good coach from the outside, but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
think best case scenario is just not a good fit.
Yeah.
But they've been really, really good.
They've been really, really good.
Trae Young has some improving to do. So last game he was guarded by Drew Holiday, went 1 for 9.
Yeah.
I feel really, really bad. And there's been a trending thing with Trae where every time he goes up against a good on-ball defender, he doesn't shoot well.
Yeah.
And that's not a good sign at all. Like when
Yeah,
you've
it's
got
not a positive trend.
when you've got a good defender on Luka still gets his points.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with every other great offensive player.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Trae Young. I think he's one of the best point guards in the league. But the fact that he's not good on defense in any regard.
The worst defensive player in the league.
Yep. And he can struggle sometimes offensively when he's up against a good defender. That does not bode well for the playoffs.
No, it doesn't.
The playoff matchup is always going to put their best defender on you at that point.
Yeah.
If the scattering report...
Everything gets tighter. In a 7-game series, the longer that series goes on, the tighter the defense gets.
That's why we generally don't see these crazy Steph games.
Yeah.
Stuff gets tighter. It's already hard in the regular season. It's going to
Yeah.
be worse in the postseason. And that's my concern with Trae Young right now is he did take a leap, but then it feels like
there's another barrier.
Yeah, it's now another barrier. Teams are starting to respect you more and defend you harder. And it doesn't feel like he's been able to adjust to that yet. And I feel like that could be potentially a bad thing considering he's been frustrated in the past and things don't really work out for him and his team. And I feel like if he doesn't learn this quickly, he could be very frustrated with himself and his team.
And he may go on a downward trend and get worse or maybe demand a trade.
The worst thing for Atlanta.
Right. You know, so he needs to... I don't know what he needs to do. He's got a barrier in front of him. I hope he's got the right people around him, the right trainers, the right staff to help him push through that barrier come playoff time.
Yep.
Because they look like they're going to be in the playoffs this year.
Yes.
If they keep on this upward trend, they look like they'll match the playoffs.
It's Atlanta, New York, Charlotte are all going to be in the playoffs most likely. Any other weird teams?
What year is this?
Right, it feels weird.
Is this 2014?
Wild, but it's going to be exciting because I want to see what Trae's capable of in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, this will be his very first run. I'm pretty confident in saying they'll make it. I don't know what the rest of their schedule is like. I haven't checked. But his things are going to be tighter for him. Julius Randle in the playoffs is going to be really exciting. Ooh. Same with RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett's been amazing this year. He's 20 years old.
Yeah.
People were so quick to call him a bust last year.
Yeah.
After not improving that much. Like,
he's 20.
Like, it's crazy.
Like, it's because we've had over the past 10 years, we've had rookies just come out and smash it. Yeah. And the overall skill level of rookies is higher.
Yeah.
And the league's younger and younger, and there's less and less vets. So it's young guys going up against young guys, right?
Yeah.
And RJ Barrett was always going to be a talent.
Yes.
But you just need to work on him. Mm-hmm. And he'll become a 3-level scorer. Like, he's got a DeMar DeRozan body, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people just gave up on him too quick to say, oh, he's a bust.
Yep.
Don't put that label on him.
Absolutely
Give him time.
Absolutely
He's on a young team that's bad. At the time, they were trash.
Yep.
They're better now, but...
He has helped that culture.
He has.
He has helped winning basketball.
He has.
In New York, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild to me. He has become an efficient scorer. He's a 40% three-point shooter.
Yep.
He can attack the basket more efficiently. He's gotten so much better. And Julius Randle, obviously, all-star.
Yeah.
You know, he's really, really good. It's going to be so fun to see New York basketball back in the playoffs. They'll probably get bounced. You know, they're not a great team.
Yeah,
they're a fun team.
They play.
They're a decent team now. They're on the right path. Same with Atlanta.
Though it'll be good for their fan base to get back to the playoffs.
Yes. Fans are starting to get in the league, in the arenas again now. And
but there's some teams where I feel like they need to be in the playoffs for fans to attend games.
Yep.
And to people to be a fan of the team. New York doesn't need that.
New York fans are always going to be around.
New York's been bad for 20 years, but they've still got some of the highest number of fans.
Yeah. Rating and arena attendances.
Yeah. So even if they weren't in the playoffs, they're still good. They could be awful, never make the playoffs for 50 years, and they'd still have one of the highest fan bases.
Yep. But it'd be cool to see him make a run.
Oh, it would be. It would be.
Charlotte as well, going to be in there. No LaMelo, unfortunately, which is real sad to see.
Yeah.
But
the rest of the team's playing well. I thought they'd just shit the bed the moment LaMelo got injured.
Devontae Graham plays so much better without LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's going to be moved.
I think so.
Yeah. I don't feel like his play style suits what LaMelo does. No, LaMelo he controls the pace.
And Devontae's stock is still high right now.
Yes.
You can get something good.
You can get either a good decent pick or a decent player.
I think you go for a decent player.
Charlotte are proving to be better when they get decent players.
Yeah.
And they're not shooting for the moon.
Yeah.
You know,
and look at Miles Bridges this season.
Yeah. Playing
with LaMelo and playing mostly with... He had best games when he was with LaMelo, but he's still playing better in general.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. You know, obviously, Brooklyn are the favourites. No Toronto in the East. They're probably not going to make the playoffs.
I took a sip.
You want some of mine?
Does it keep coming? Does it keep going? No, it's all right.
No? Oh, you sound a bit sad.
Well, I'm sick.
Oh, you are sick? Yeah. Do you feel like you're going to throw up yet?
No,
not even when I talk about New York.
When you said Frank Ntilikina, I felt it. But apart from that, no.
Almost came up. But you're going to hate come playoff time if they're in the playoffs. Because there are only select teams I get to talk about in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know.
And if they make a run...
We'll have a 5-minute podcast.
Yeah.
We'll make a separate podcast where it's just you sitting on the couch talking about New York. And I'll put a blow-up doll here and dress it in my clothes and we'll say that to me.
We should have done that whenever you're away.
Whenever I'm sick, you should just get a pre-record, a soundboard.
Yes. Yep.
You press the button, it goes ha ha ha.
You know what I was tempted to do?
Trap house. Crack, 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 Dan.
I was tempted to film a meme video of like 40 minutes of me asking a question and then jumping over to your seat, answering it, and then
fucking
doing
amazing.
that. It would have been
having to adjust the mic every time.
Every time,
That would have
yeah.
been magnifique.
But that's a lot of effort.
That is a lot of effort.
But yeah, for 40 minutes, I don't know.
Or you just ask a question sitting here and there's just no one there to pretend like I respond.
Yeah, just pretend like in my head, have the answer and just seem like a fucking crazy person.
That's what most of the podcast is when you rant anyway.
Yeah, it feels good when I
When you talk at me, not to me. Shout out to Adam.
Well, Adam, speaking of Adam, we were having a discussion last night. This isn't basketball related, but what is, like, we have no way of knowing if you're real to me or not. All right, this is going to be a weird philosophical question or a statement. But I remember Adam and I tried to make you feel crazy one time, saying that we weren't real, we're just a figment of your imagination. And I'm like,
that's clearly, wasn't buying it, Adam.
But like, you could be so crazy,
that none of this
so
is
mentally
real.
ill that the people that you have around you that are fake in your illusion, you could have such an expanded universe in your head that I have my own friends and family.
This could be a Truman Show thing.
That's absolutely what it
where
could
you
be.
live in a dome and I'm an actor.
Yeah. That's absolutely what it could be. I don't know what you do when you go home. You could be, signing more deals and doing what else. I'm
selling my own podcast to Spotify, not telling them about this one.
But I don't know how we got onto that topic.
A little tangent. No, it's just you ranting about nothing.
I'm not a rant. It's just,
I mentioned Adam, and you're like, "Here's what me and Adam talk about yesterday. It's not basketball related."
It wasn't basketball related at all. But that was a little interesting one.
Do you have any more topics to talk about that we missed last week or this week?
Well, one thing I want to get your opinion on, because I'm pretty firm on my opinion with it. So the fans and GMs apparently come out a couple of days ago saying that they're concerned with the scheduling for the league. Yeah. They think it's not player friendly. It's causing issues, which is technically a lie. But
injuries happen.
So it sparked with the Jamal Murray injury.
I did see people talking about
despite him missing 4 days.
Yeah, he had some rest.
Yeah, he had rest, so that had nothing to do with the schedule.
Yeah.
The Donovan Mitchell one was a contact injury, had nothing to do with rest or the schedule. A lot of the injuries we see have nothing to do with the schedule. And if you look at the rate of injuries, it's consistent throughout the years. Yeah. It has nothing to do with the random schedule. To do with it. So that's my opinion on it. I don't think there's an issue with the schedule.
So I've always hated 82 games in such a short amount of time.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? I love that we're going to 72 this year. I'd love for them to keep it at 72 over the course of a full regular season or even add an extra month.
Yep.
It's hard.
Which won't happen because of money.
Yeah. But like 82 games per team within a couple months is too much.
Too much.
Like people, I feel like the touring schedule because they're like not because of injury. It's just like A, that's too many games for me to go through, and B, as a player, you don't get a day off.
No, and like the thing I agree with regarding the scheduling thing, there are certain teams. I think Utah was one of them, where in 10 days they had like 7 games.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's stupid.
That's ridiculous. No. Like, regardless of where you stand regarding this discussion, that's stupid. That should not happen.
Yeah.
And I understand this is a weird year with the COVID restrictions and whatnot.
Seasons shortened by like half.
Hopefully that eases up, at some point and back to normal. But even then, I would like to see some change.
Yeah.
I think 62 games would be ideal.
Yeah.
That, in the long run, that does prevent more injuries.
Yeah. Less games, less chances for injuries.
Absolutely.
If players get day off, more likely to rest. Yeah. Even if it's not injuries, it's just like, that's a lot of games.
We'll see less load management, hopefully.
Less load management and like...
Here's just
so much travel.
Touching on load management, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people fully grasp the negatives of load management.
Yeah.
Most people, fans that is, casual fans, come out and say, we should just be letting players load manage, prevent more injuries. I don't think people understand there are thousands of jobs depending on one player.
Thousands of jobs, yeah.
If someone
how much money is lost when a star player doesn't play?
Yep, absolutely. Like, people don't think about that.
Tickets, merchandise, food. Yep. There's a bunch of things that doesn't happen if a star player doesn't play. LeBron's in Cleveland in like 2018 run, right when he came back.
Yep.
You're a young kid in Cleveland. You're not, your family's not too well off. You get your one present for the year is you go get to see the Cavs play. And LeBron's not playing because of league management.
Well, it was Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan that came out and said they'd never miss games to load management because of that reason, right?
And I agree with that. And that's the emotional reason as well.
Absolutely.
You know, that you never want to be the reason that someone misses their one opportunity to see you play.
Yep.
Because you may just be playing basketball. It may just be another game to you. But, you know, I would kill to see one of Kobe's games.
Yes. We will probably never get to see an NBA game in our lifetime. We may if we go to the US.
Yeah.
But like retired players we never get to see. Yeah. And like
you always see when it's like halftime and the camera is going around to the audience or the crowd, and a lot of those fans are foreign.
Yeah.
A lot of those fans have traveled to see certain players play.
Yeah.
And if they're not playing, that's really depressing.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you go international to see a player play and they don't play?
Yeah, they don't play. Like, that's so heartbreaking. So there's that, emotional attachment to why you should be playing. And then there's the financial thing. If you're not playing, there are thousands of jobs potentially being lost if this is going to be a consistent thing.
Absolutely. How much money is lost per game where star player doesn't play?
It's why there's a big argument towards anti-tanking. You know, if you're tanking on purpose, jobs are being lost.
Yeah.
And that's something that people don't look at either. So it's always I guess more of a fun discussion to have, because it does open people's minds to a lot of the cons of taking a certain stance. But I am in favor of the schedules do need to be fixed at some point.
Load management, it's been a lot less this season, I've noticed, but in the past couple of years, it was load management.
It's because Adam Silver came out and said that if the player's healthy, they have to play.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the year before where Kawhi Leonard was just like, I'm just not playing. You know, that which is stupid. I hate that.
But yeah, a scheduling change will lower the amount of load management as well.
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't know the inner working deals of money, like with the team owners, with the arenas, with the TV network deals, like the local network deals.
Also, a thing as well is the NBA Player Association had to agree to this schedule.
So obviously they were on board with it. And it's a tough situation because the NBA had to make something work. Obviously, they need to make money.
Yeah.
And the players need to make money. You have to come to an agreement. It's not a one-sided thing.
No, it's not.
You know, they say it's a league for the players, and
The players are blessed to play in this NBA. It's the best league in the freaking world.
Yeah.
but, you know, obviously the league needs to make money.
Yeah.
So they can't just say, oh, no, let's just play 50 games. We're fine.
There was going to be millions of dollars worth of pay cuts this season if it was a super shortened schedule, like, 50 games or whatever.
Yep.
They worked out 72. Which apparently was a happy medium for both sides. Yep. It's all about compromise. That's all it is at the end of the day.
In a year like this, you can't be selfish.
No.
It's about compromise. And I like what the NBA has done. I feel like on the fly, like obviously this isn't a perfect year.
Yeah.
There's been issues. On the fly though, what Adam Silver's done is really, really good.
Like, look at the bubble last year. That was amazing.
Yes.
We were all nervous, but they did it so well. Obviously there was issues from within of food and whatnot.
Inviting ladies in.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
but overall, if you look at the bigger picture, it was a great success. Like they did it perfectly.
Immensely perfect execution. You know, no one testing positive. Still no one testing. Oh no, there have been people tested positive. That's because it's outside of the bubble.
Yeah,
you know, people have gone to certain places they shouldn't have gone. Unfortunately,
lemon pepperloo.
But that's. I was just we haven't had that discussion in quite some time, and that's coming back up now because of Jamal Murray.
Yeah, that's the catalyst for it, but the catalyst wasn't incited by the grueling schedule.
It's a weird one. I think people just like to read headlines, and it's like, oh, that's why.
Yeah,
because the schedule's fucked.
Yeah,
like, no, it's not.
It's like, yes, the schedule is fucked, but that didn't cause A didn't cause B to happen.
No,
C may fix it, but that's not still going to not stop B from happening.
It feels like one of those politician arguments where it's like, A didn't cause B, but it helps my argument.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go into it in detail, but surely this is the reason why.
Yeah.
Like, it's frustrating.
It is.
But, you know, prayers up for Jamal. I want him back ASAP.
Yeah.
And whether you're a fan of him or not, I want Denver to be as good as they can be.
He's a young player who's getting better every year. You don't want to see that.
And I like versing you guys in the playoffs because it's the old Kobe versus Melo days.
Yeah,
man. I
love
2009
playoffs. Like, it's a rematch of the Western Conference Finals, but it's not going to happen this year, most likely.
It would have been fun, though. Like, if we get Bubble Murray again
and MVP Jokic, that feels like a fun matchup against AD and LeBron.
Right.
Like, that's a match made in heaven.
It is what it is.
You know?
It is what it is. Do you have any more topics?
No, that's
I
about
think
it.
we'll wrap it up.
Felt,
We've been
felt
going around
rapid
40.
fire.
Yeah, we
'Cause
went
it's been
through a
2
lot.
weeks.
Went through a lot. We were like Charlie from It's Always Sunny on the pegboard.
With the red-
Pointing
red
with the red.
lines,
Yeah. You're like, LaMarcus Aldridge, you're not real. Jamal Murray, this, that, and the third. So
Oh my god.
it's been a good week. It's good to be back doing the pod.
Steph Curry is further proof we may be in a simulation, though.
No.
'Cause those numbers
He's
aren't
an
real.
outlier.
He's an out. Yeah, no, he's crazy.
Like a simulation can't predict Steph
It's
Curry.
crazy that
Is the last thing I say. It's just when you think of Steph, it's just greatness on greatness,
best shooter we've ever seen.
and that changed the game. But he's also changing the game in regards to his off ball.
Yeah.
Now people are like, oh no, we need to learn how this man plays off ball, not
Yeah.
just on ball.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
The,
I can
the
see
next
why this
level
man-
defense, like the amount of film you'd have to watch to try and, like, a coach would have to watch to try and trap him on defense.
Yeah.
No,
It's
too
even
much.
a small thing where
I can't stop talking. It's a small thing where rookies that come into the league, they'll always jump for the ball. Whereas vets in the league, they don't jump. They'll put their hand up, they'll stay, they can't go by because you've stayed. They either
Yeah.
have to throw it up or you're defending them from that point on. Rookies get fouled out pretty quickly because they keep jumping for
They keep
everything.
jumping.
That's a thing Steph really teaches everyone. You know, you come into the league, he's going to clown you like that.
Yeah.
He's going to learn to
If your
keep
feet
you
leave the
grounded.
ground once, you're done.
Done.
Sidestep, boom.
Just learn from Steph. Watch all his stuff.
He's so good.
Phenomenal.
He's so good.
Phenomenal.
We'll end it on that. If you've made it through this far, it's a bit of a shorter one, say, not a normal hour-long one.
So what are we on?
We're on 42.
40 minutes. That's pretty good.
Yeah, with with a couple of minutes before we started, but yeah, like it's a good amount. If you've made it through this far, thank you very, very much. It's a favorite part of our weeks every week, and we love doing it. We love it even more if you could tell your friends about it. If you're watching this on YouTube, we're on YouTube, the Logbot Podcast. If you're hearing this on any of our other platforms like Spotify, Apple Pod, Google Pod, Anchor, Breaker, I think we might be on Last FM. Who knows? But we're on like every RSS feed I can find.
Was Last FM a...
Was that music?
Is that a GTA radio station?
No,
No, that's non-stop pop FM.
that's non-stop Pop
Sorry,
FM.
yeah.
Last FM's real.
Is it though?
I may put us on Groove Shark and SoundCloud. I don't know, man.
Oh shit! Please do it.
On Groove
I'll
Shark?
get no on SoundCloud. We'll
Oh,
get
yeah,
face tattoos.
Yeah, we'll get face tattoos. Next week, I'll have a Glock tattooed on my face and you have a Ferrari on your forehead. So we got the Glock and the Ferrari.
Zoom, zoom, baby.
Zoom, zoom. So, yeah, thank you very much. Have a good week. Love you guys. Bye.